So in this video, we are going to discuss about Agentic AI's one design pattern, which is the reflection method and reflection with external feedback. And I will demonstrate one simple Python code that has a basic understanding how the Agentic AI's reflection method works. And in the subsequent videos, we will be doing heavily hands-on 2 to 3 different use cases, full end-to-end, how to design and build one Agentic AI reflection workflow. And if you practice those videos for your interviews, just choose any one of them and build for your interview, study for your interview. I think that will be well enough. You have a good use case for your portfolio. Okay. So what happens in Agentic AI's reflection pattern? Let's say you are the user, right? You have user is passing some prompt to the LLM agent, and the agent has generated some output. Okay, so it's a, let's say, simple prompt question answering application that your GenAI team has built. So you are passing the prompt, the LLM is doing some text generation, and you are getting the output. Now again you are passing the output to the LLM agent, might be same LLM agent or a different LLM model, and then you are asking to critically evaluate. Basically now this one works as a evaluator. So this one works as a creator, this one works as a evaluator. Okay, and then after evaluation it creates another modified version of the answer. And now if this answer satisfies your goal, or this response satisfies the goal, then well enough, you are returning the answer to the user, or else the iteration goes on, and once you reach your satisfactory answer, then it goes to the user. So that's how your reflection pattern of Agentic AI design workflow works. That means it's a reflection of the previous output. That's what you have to remember in case of reflection pattern, right? So another design pattern with reflection, the Agentic AI reflection pattern is external tools, using of external tools. So you have the query, you are executing some task, you are getting the result, then you are getting generating the response, and then the response again you are reflecting, right? It's a reflection pattern. You are reflecting, and then the reflected response against, if it is okay after the critical evaluation or the reflection, then it goes to the final response and the user is seeing the output. And if it is not okay, then it is again going to the first step, execution of task. Then you are using some external tools, might be, let's say if it's a analytical job, right? So you are executing some Python script to modify or to evaluate whatever output you have generated in the response, right? And again you execute and the loop goes on and you get the final response. So what I have to remember, so क्या क्या याद रखना है in case of agentic workflow of reflection pattern? Not very serious. You pass the LLM prompt to your LLM agents, agent creates one response, then again you do a reflection, another critical evaluator. Basically you think that reflection or reflector as a QA guy. It evaluates the unit test of the code got generated from your LLM, and if there is some critical issues, design issues or something happens, it again creates another one and then it passes to the user. So it modifies, it's level 1 modification kind of thing. Okay, now we'll see that same thing in a simple Python example. So remember, this example is just your pseudo code of reflection based pattern based Agentic AI application building. It is not actual application, and in the next set of videos we'll be using LLM APIs to build some common use cases to complex use cases. Okay, so here you see I have created one sample example or sample function. It called simple reflection example. Okay, so it's a basic reflection pattern, and here I have written the steps, right? So what happens, you pass a prompt to one LLM agent first attempt. Okay, it makes its best initial try, then it critically review its own attempt, okay, in the second step, and in the third step it uses the reflection to make it better. That is the key concept of reflection method. Okay, so same thing, nothing fancy, it's only some Python print statement to let you understand how reflection works. So here you can see the user input in question, what is the capital of France. Okay, so in reflection pattern what happens, let's say the initial answer comes from the LLM, I think it's Paris. So what is the capital of France? initial answer given by the LLM agent is I think it's Paris. Now in the second reflection pattern, so after the initial response it goes to the reflection pattern. In the reflection pattern it says that I said I think, which sounds uncertain. I should be more confident. Also I should mention it's in France. Okay, so after reflection or critical evaluation of its previous answer, the agent is thinking that it mentioned that I think it's Paris. So this I think is creating confusion, or it will create a uncertainty in the mind of user, whatever the answer. So it has to be much more certain, right? So that's what after the critical evaluation or critically thinking, the reflection method does, or after reflecting, the LLM responds back with the improved answer. The capital of France is Paris. So it removes the think portion and it mentioned that the capital of France is Paris. So that's how your reflection pattern works. It tries to give you the initial best answer, then it critically reflects on the answer it has provided, and then third it improves upon the answer it has given. Okay, now if you run this file or if you run the function, you will see first step, second step, and third step, how reflection happens. Okay, so this is the basic idea behind reflection, and the same thing here I have written in a object oriented format. Okay, so just bear with me for 1 or 2 minutes more. So here you can see it's a tiny reflection agent. So that's how in real life also you will build classes and methods to implement your uh, reflection agent or agentic AI workflows. Okay, so it will be a block of codes or block of classes and then calling those classes, right? And internal methods and all, right? That's how you write code. So this class contains one process method, one think method, one reflect method, and one improve method, right? So I'm just starting. The agent is initializing the class. That means class initialization happens. Then it is calling the process function or process method, right? So in case of class, it is method. So it is calling the process. If I view the source, right, here you can see the process. So what the process calls, it calls the think, self.think, and it passes the question. Okay, and then first it is thinking the first step. So first think is nothing but your first step, best guess. Second one, what it is doing, it is doing one reflection. And third one, if there is any issue it is finding, it is improvising the answer to with improve function. Okay, so as we have mentioned, key, if you see that in this case, right, our question was what is the capital of France. Initial answer was I think it's Paris. Reflection was I said I think this sounds uncertain. I should be more confident with my answer. I should mention it's in France only, and the improved answer is the capital of France is Paris. Okay, so the same thing is written here. So if you see the reflect function, which is the most important thing of the reflection method, what is written, if I think is in the answer, then issues dot append to uncertain. If France not in the answer, issue dot append missing context and return the issue. That means if there is I think or France and not there is not France and there is I think, it's marked it as issue and it is returning the issue. And once you are getting returning the issue, it will call the improve function. Inside improve function, if too uncertain is in issue, okay, then replace the I think with I know. And if there is missing context, then you append basically with the answer Paris is in France, and that's it. You just return. So in think, that means in the first guess, what it is returning, it is returning I think it's Paris. So there is I think, right? So the next set of block where it will go to this issue dot append. It's too uncertain, and once it is too uncertain, it will go to improve. In improve, what will happen, it will replace the think with I know. So finally you will get in answer I know it's Paris. So that's how reflection works. Your initial answer was I think it's Paris, and then it is changing to I know it's Paris, and Paris is in France. That's it. So this is how your reflection pattern of agentic AI works. And in next set of tutorials, we'll be doing hands-on with APIs, using some Hugging Face APIs mostly, that's freely available with LLMs. The design pattern, architecture, and application for end-to-end application building will be showing. And if you strictly follow those, and I think any one video, if you watch closely and do the tutorials, and you understand what is happening inside the code, you don't have to remember the code, and you can explain to your employer or your interviewer, I think you can easily crack or secure one job, high paying job basically. So that's it for this video. I hope I will see you in the next video. Thank you.